you looking up tonight? Mulling under the moonlight. Never thought to let it go. Soul searching out of your window. Tired eyes, never sleep unless your head's by mine. Holding on to what we call divine. Do you think time? Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side. Daylight rushes in over your emerald eyes. Guess that means that we're all out of time. Like a dream, you only come out at night. Am I crazy? Watch the sun as it's fading. Can't believe I'm waiting around on you. So complicated. I thought that you would leave it, yet here we are under the moon. Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side. Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side. Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Touchline Talk at 2 p.m. every single Tuesday and Friday. You guys know the drill by now. It's literally every single Tuesday and Friday at this time slot. It's been like that for however many months now. So if you don't know by now, then you're a fraud. How are we all doing then? Welcome to today's installment of Touchline Talk. Today, Semenyo got confirmed as a Manchester City player. You should have watched my analysis video of that. It's a very good video, in my opinion. So go give that a watch afterwards. Today we'll be discussing that in a bit more detail, maybe even more detail. So if you guys have got any questions or thoughts that you want us to go over today about Semenyo, we can certainly touch on that. What does he offer on ball, off ball? If you want to go in a bit more detail, adding on to the analysis video, then let me know. We can absolutely do that for sure. We'll talk about Semenyo. I also want to talk about the seeming shift in City's style to a certain degree. Thank you very much, True Citizen. Love that from you. To a certain degree this season. I had a bit of a crisis yesterday, a bit of an identity crisis with how I don't really know what City is trying to be really this season. So I'll go over my thoughts on that. And we also have a game tomorrow, which is Exeter. So there's not going to be any content around Exeter outside of the Watchalong, obviously, because it's only an FA Cup game against Exeter. But so I thought maybe like in the middle of the stream or towards the end of it, we can have a chat. We can preview it basically. What do we want the starting 11 to be? And of course, I want Semenyo to be starting in that game as well. Just on the topic of Exeter, by the way, if you are in England, I've spent the last, I don't know, couple hours trying to figure out how to watch it legally in England. Turkey has a platform that works. It's called Tabby Sport, I believe. £1.72 for a month of like all the football, and that's including Champions League, all the European football, all the top leagues, and it includes the FA Cup as well. So it's not on TV in this country, because like people are confused. It's not on It's not being broadcast in England. It's at 3 p.m. So it's if you want to watch it legally in this country tomorrow, then you better find yourself a VPN, because you cannot watch it. You cannot watch it on TV because it's at 3 p.m. and it's an archaic blackout rule. So would recommend. It costs £1.72. So if you can find yourself a VPN, I use Nord personally. Big up to Nord. If you don't have a VPN, you can always buy one, or you can get a free proxy VPN nowadays. So just an FYI. There will be a watch along as well. That's how I'm going to be watching it, though. So I've done all the groundwork, and I spent 2 fucking hours trying to log on to Indonesian websites, trying to do Ukraine. I even looked at Israel. That's how dark and desperate it got. North Macedonia let me down. Yeah. The US, Disney Plus Premium, all this bullshit. The only one that I could get working was the Turkey one. So big up to Turkey for that. Big up to Turkey. Yeah, the Shirky platform, yeah. Big up. As I say, cost less than £2 a month to get all the football. So that's 8 thing. Just an FYI. So that's me imparting my work onto you guys. India does not have the... Well, I looked at the official Man City. Here's where it's being broadcast, and India wasn't even an option. So it wasn't even there. Didn't try the North Pole, to be fair, but I did try literally every single one. Every single one. And that was the one I stumbled upon. That's tomorrow, though, and that's later in the stream when we talk about an Exeter preview. For now, though, again, it's Touchline Talk to 2 on a Tuesday and Friday, literally every single time, every single week. Sorry that I didn't TABII to buy or to beer. If you Google Man City versus Exeter TV, the official Man City account will show you how to do it. Yes, so there was no content on the Brighton game. That's because, not ordinarily, that would be because I would have been at the game, and then I would have got back home really, really late, so I wouldn't have wanted to do a post-mortem anyway. And then I would have done like a post-match analysis the day after, whatever, like the Sunderland game. But I was very ill on Wednesday and Thursday, because I basically did an all-nighter to get the Semenyo video out, and then my body said, haha, no, you need to crash now. So I had a nap for the first time in my adult life on Wednesday, Thursday, whenever it was. So I took the day off. I still rewatched the game, because I'm a sadist. Yeah, so it wasn't a full day off, but I didn't do any content on it, obviously. So apologies if you wanted to see a third analysis video in a row of me saying, this is the problem, and we've now seen it again. But that didn't happen, did it? I'm sure you don't really care about that. Big up to Matoma. If I was going to do an analysis video, I actually would have done it focusing on Matoma, because I thought he was very, very good against us. If you look at all the expected threats that Brighton had, like where it was on the pitch, like the danger zone on the pitch, it was all down Brighton's left, so it does make a lot of sense that Matoma was that boy. In sum, we can briefly discuss the Brighton game before we get onto the fun topic of Semenyo. In sum, I don't accept that this is the Sunderland game, second half, where it was just... we were really shit in front of goal. Don't get me wrong, we were bad in front of goal, of course we were, but I didn't get that same vibe from the Brighton game personally. Certainly in the first game, someone tell me what we created that wasn't a set play or just Brighton giving it to us in their own box. I can't tell you. I rewatched it, couldn't tell you anything. Even in the second half, our best chances came from Brighton passing us the ball in their penalty box. So that happened. What else did we create? Seriously struggling to think of anything. There were only like 2 that I can really think of, and that was it. Brighton had the best chance at 1-1, and no one seems to be talking about that. I did not think it was the same game as the Sunderland game. For me, that's a really worrying performance, and I'm not really happy about it. So it's a good thing I didn't do an analysis video on the Brighton game, because I would have been quite scathing, because I was very upset with that. Elaine looked good, though, so that's a positive. Kusanov, I'm sorry to sound like a hater. Kusanov did not have a good game, or rather, not the game that many people thought he had. He he did get back nicely a couple of times, but the one moment where he's being properly lauded for, it's his positioning which forces him to make the recovery challenge. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well, that Kusanov did not have the game that is being suggested. He put out his own fires, which was nice, but he started the fires sometimes as well. The positioning was not good with that. So I thought he was fine, but people were going on about him like, I don't know, it was Vincent Kompany reincarnate, and it was like, I thought he had a fine game, but that's where it ends. I thought it was only fine. Just FYI. Elaine, I did think was very impressive, though, in fairness. And I felt that, in all honesty, Brighton probably deserved to win the game. Again, they had the best chance at 1-1. We didn't start to look properly threatening until game state takes effect. And again, what did we create in that game? Someone tell me, actually. Open question. Maybe I was ill when I watched it and then rewatched it, so maybe I missed something. What did we create that wasn't just from a set piece, or wasn't Brighton passing it to us in their box? Genuine, open, sincere question. What were these massive big chances? Because people were equating it to the Sunderland game, and against Sunderland, we created that Haaland chance from the Foden cross. We created the Savio chance from the Shirky cross. We created the Savio shot from the Foden through ball. Sorry, we created the Gvardiol shot from the Rodri dink, and then we created like something else which was quite big as well. What were these big chances that weren't just from Brighton passing it to us in their box? The Shirky one, yes. There was a Shirky one where Doku, in fairness, creates it for Shirky and then he hits it over. Shirky does. Which is sort of like a half chance. It wasn't a big chance. But what were these other massive chances? I can't think of them. The Shirky one, yes, you've reminded me there. Doku shot against... Oh yeah, the Doku one against Sunderland as well, yeah. But what were the other ones? Haaland chance. Which one was the Haaland chance that wasn't... Which was the Haaland chance that wasn't just Brighton passing it to us in their box, though? Was there another one? I feel like there wasn't. I feel like the Haaland one was Brighton gave it to us in their box. What was the other Haaland chance? Have I missed it? Let me know. Let me know. Elaine's older than O'Reilly and Hayes. Hey, how old is he? Is he 20... what? Haaland post. Was that not Chelsea? Header off the line. Yeah, so a set piece. Yeah. What were the ones that were from open play that we created ourselves? I don't think they existed. He's 20. Thank you, guys. Shot from outside the box. I probably can't remember that. Was that a big chance or was that like a half chance? Yeah, I think he hit the post against Chelsea. The only one that I can think of that Spartacus has reminded me of is the Shirky one. That's the only one I can think of from open play that wasn't Brighton giving us the ball in their box. Can't think of many others. There was a half chance where Foden dinked it to Reinders and Reinders didn't get a shot off. And there was another half chance where Van Heck, who had quite a good game, I think Foden and Haaland are pressing it, and then they win it back, and then Haaland runs, and then Van Heck does well, and the shot doesn't come off. Outside of that, though, can't think of anything that wasn't a corner, a penalty, or Brighton gifting it us. So I was not happy with the performance. And I personally don't like the framing that this was one of those days. Because, don't get me wrong, I'm willing to accept that there are games that are one of those days types of games. The Sunderland game was one of those in the second half especially. It just was. We created chance after chance after chance, and we just couldn't score in an open net. And defensively, we were sound for the most part. But against Brighton, we weren't defensively sound. They should have scored at 1-1 before all those big chances happened when they just backed off. And Matoma created the best chance of the game. A 1-1. And ain't no one talking about the fact that we conceded arguably the best chance. And that wasn't from us dicking around. That was from them playing through us. So I was very concerned. About that. That's my summation of the Brighton game. Blah. Anyway. Happy stuff now, hopefully, because Arsenal dropped points yesterday. Hooray! I can't even properly enjoy it because we're 6 points off, and those 6 points are literally those 3 bloody draws back to back to back, which is very annoying. It is quite frustrating. So that's a thing. So it's lovely that they drop points, but if anything, that just makes it even more annoying that we conceded last second in the Chelsea game, and we didn't put one of those chances away against Sunderland, and we didn't defend well enough against Brighton, and didn't create enough, in my opinion, against Brighton either. Very, very frustrating to think that if we were just semi-competent in the past 3 games, then we'd only be like a couple points off, or we'd be even on the same points. Because I could have handled, you drop points against Sunderland because that's one of those games, but then you obviously beat Chelsea, and then you obviously beat Brighton at home, by the way, and then you're only 2 points off, and it's not the end of the world because that's one result. They have to come to the Etihad. It's very annoying. It's very, very frustrating. But there we are. That's the state of play. So City is still technically in it, which I guess is nice. So, Semenyo. Shall we chat about him? Or does anyone want to discuss the Brighton game a bit more? I don't mind. I feel like you guys probably like to talk about something more positive. But let me know. Do you have any questions on the Brighton game before we move on to Semenyo? Because obviously he has been confirmed as a City player. He's taken Yaya Touré's, exactly, he's the new number 42. He's taken Yaya Touré's old number, which is quite cool. And you'll have all watched my analysis video, so you will know exactly what we are getting with him. So I felt that maybe today, for the most part, for the Brighton game, yeah, Fez. So I felt today, for the most part, maybe we could talk about that, because I would, and then that can perhaps segue into the conflicting style point that I want to touch on, and also how he might play for us off ball and on ball. It's come at a great time, because even though I kept saying at the start of the season that I felt that we didn't need a winger, and I still, well, my opinion on that was we don't need another winger, because then we'd have way too many bodies. I could have entertained it if it was a player going out, and it looks like that is going to be the case, in fairness. So that is a thing. But certainly, given the AFCON factor and given the injury factor, we are very light. We are very light in the squad, and it doesn't help that Pep is seemingly incapable / refuses to rotate a lot of our players. So again, just very briefly touching back on the Brighton game for a second. I don't get why Foden started that game. He has needed a rest since Madrid. Clearly has needed a rest. He was supposed to get a rest against Brentford in the Cup. He came on after 10 minutes. And he started every single game thereafter. And he's being tasked with one of the most intense out-of-possession roles in our squad, whilst also being asked to contribute a lot of output. He needs to be... we will get onto the Exeter squad. If I see him on the bench, or the start, or the bench, even on the bench against Exeter, I'm going to be fuming. Because he's just being ran into the ground, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid. So that's a thing in the first instance. So Semenyo couldn't have come at a better time. Well, actually, that's a lie. It would have been better if we had him like a week ago. But it seems like the payment terms, we wanted to spread the payment over a period of time rather than rather than paying it all up front. Because if you do a release clause, generally speaking, you have to pay all of the money all up front, all at once. And for financial reasons, that's not normally good to do. So you want to spread the cost. Hence, that's why City did that. So it's not to do with getting like less of a fee or whatever it was. It's more to do with like spreading the cost. And with that, we accepted that Semenyo would have to play against Arsenal and Spurs, was it? So that's a bit of a shame, but it's something the club decided. It's a shame because we could have used that, and maybe that would have got us an extra 4 points. But it is what it is. So Semenyo couldn't have come at a better time. That's nice. That's lovely. As I'm talking about Semenyo, guys and girls, please let me know if you have any thoughts, any questions, any comments on Semenyo that you would like me to discuss or answer. feel free to pop them in the chat because for the next however many minutes I want to talk about Semenyo. There's very obvious things that he offers us offensively, and a lot of what I'm going to say here will obviously be going over the old ground from my video. There is a lot of what he offers us offensively. First and foremost, it is goals. He's a goal scorer. He scores the goals. He scores all the goals all the time. That's very, very lovely. He also provides a lot of utility as well. Lucky Tries asks, is he better on the left or the right? In my opinion, he is better off the left. That's where he's played the majority of his football this season, and I believe it was more so the left last season. I think this has been the season more so where it's been more dominated to the left. If you look across his whole Bournemouth career, it's pretty split. But I think generally speaking, this season certainly it's more so the left. So in my opinion, he's a better player off the left. The good news is that he's got a very strong left foot. So it doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. It's not like you're dealing with a very... Hey, Andrew, to be fair, he is good at long throws, to be fair. It's not like we're dealing with a player who is totally different whether you play him left or right. So if we're comparing it to other wingers, this isn't Savio, where Savio's right foot is nowhere near as strong as his left foot. What does that mean? It means that you get basically a completely different footballer compared to left wing or right wing. Hence, it is quite reasonable to have the conversation about is he best off the left or the right, and that can be a big impact. So the Semenyo one, we can all have our takes on it, but it doesn't matter as much whether it's left or right, because he's capable of cutting in and scoring with his right on the left. He's capable of cutting in and scoring with his left on the right. He's capable of running to the byline and getting a cross in or a pass in or a cutback on the right or left with either respective foot. It doesn't really matter. So angle bias sort of exists for him, but not really. There's that really interesting bit of data going round where he's like the third or fourth most two-footed player in the league. I'm sure we can all guess who number one is, but he's right up there, essentially. So it doesn't ultimately matter. Even though I think he's better off the left, I do believe he will be used more so in his City career, certainly with the players we've got right now, off the right. Ordinarily, that might be a bit of a problem, because it wouldn't be getting the most out of his abilities. But because there's such little difference, if I were to put in like some sort of percentage terms, if you get 100% of what Semenyo is on the left, I reckon you're getting like at least 90% plus on the right, maybe even more. You know what I mean? It might even be like 95% plus. So the margins aren't that far off. Whereas with Savio, you might be getting like what 100% of the play he can be on the right, and you might be getting, I don't know, like 50% on the left, perhaps. Something as extreme as that. Those are arbitrary numbers, but hopefully you understand the point I'm trying to make there. So it doesn't matter. That's the good thing to know. The good thing to know is he can do both. And for City, it probably will be more on the right. Because if you think of what are City's main left-wing options, you got Doku, who is Doku this season, and he's having a fantastic season. So you don't want to take him out of the side, realistically, given how fantastic he's been. I guess you could, but that's the thing. And we've got Marmoush to come back into the side, who is also almost exclusively for City when he's not played just instead of Haaland. He has played off that left side. So City are looking pretty good on the left. On the right, there is Shirky, who can play off the right and then come inside, but he's not a natural right-sided player. And then there's Savio, so there's arguably less strong options on the right side compared to the left. So that is a thing. So I think it makes sense for a squad cohesion POV as well. So in my opinion, he'll be playing most of his football on the right. That remains to be seen. Who knows? Maybe Doku picks up a big injury. Whatever. That remains to be seen. We shall see. That's on ball. He's also capable in the central areas, though, in like the half spaces. He's very good from a Well, we'll get onto the out of possession in a second. So that lends itself to good tactical fluidity. Because, shall I get my tactics board out? Shall I whip it out, guys? I'll whip it out. Where's my button? There it is. Okay. So if we think about... this was the team that I wanted. Oh my gosh, you can't see my face. Nvidia has bottled it. Hello? Well, you're not going to be able to see my face then. Unless I can resolve this right now. I feel like this isn't going to work. What a shame. God damn it, Nvidia. What are you doing? If I toggle preview, will it work? Nah, okay. That's annoying. Okay. I'm just going to have to get rid of my face then, unfortunately, for now. Get rid of that. And then video. No. Oh, as my voice breaks there. Not media source. One sec, guys. Wait on me, yeah? I got this. Right. There we go. Sorry, it's not. It should be green screened out, but it isn't. Here we go. So you can still see me. You can still see my beautiful face. Let me just get rid of that. Yes, look at this. Look at me, it's tiny Nobbins. I mean, I already am tiny. I'm 2'3". So if we think about, well, let's go to what I consider City's best team that we've seen this season. In my opinion, this has been the team where we've seen our best games. Well, I can't put Gvardiol in the side. I'm going to do it. I don't care. It's going to hurt me. I don't care. This is for illustration purposes only. In my opinion, we've played our best football when this has been our starting 11. And of course, it was Nico instead of Rodri, in fairness. But you know what I mean. So this is like the team that we saw against Bournemouth, against Liverpool, etc., etc. All basically our best performances have come when we played these lads. So if we think about how City... Oh gosh, my microphone, it's all kicking off here, isn't it? If we think about like the first of City's setups, which is very easy to envisage Semenyo in it, what City do is they go to a back three. O'Reilly pushes up. Foden pushes in. Bernardo and Shirky rotate. And I've got this vibe and situation here. You could also just have it, I suppose, and we have seen it against West Ham, for example, where you had Shirky just exclusively out on the right-hand side. But generally speaking, it has been that, hasn't it, where Bernardo goes to the right and Shirky is given that central access. So here are your three number 10s. You've got Shirky, Foden, and O'Reilly as your, quote, 3 10s, let's say. It's very easy to picture where Semenyo goes here. What we analyse and predicting. I'm just saying, like, where would Semenyo fit? It's very easy to envisage where Semenyo goes here. He just, if we're doing literally a like for like, have I made a Semenyo thing? Have I not made a Semenyo? There he is. You just play him as an out-and-out right winger. That's it. Obviously. This means that you don't actually have to faff around with a midfielder rotating with whoever's playing nominally at right wing. You've just got out-and-out width from Semenyo. Of course, you can have Doku and O'Reilly rotating, as we know that they like to do in that sense. But on the other side, you can just have a standout touchline right winger who does not care about being played on the right, and he's still able to be a goal threat from that right side as well. He doesn't necessarily need central access. He doesn't need to be rotating with Bernardo in order to do that. So that means that you can just leave Bernardo at home in the centre. What it also means, I would actually argue, is that you don't probably... Because the main reason why Bernardo sort of has to play whenever Shirky plays out here is that if you don't... Let's say you had like Reinders instead, and let's say you had let's say Shirky here. The reason why this doesn't really work, and why I was going to say why we haven't seen it, but we have seen a Reinders Shirky dynamic, and it was against Spurs, and it was fucking garbage. The main reason why this doesn't work in the first instance is because naturally these two don't really want to rotate with one another. I don't know why you would want to have Reinders out at right wing, although he did play well at left wing against Chelsea in fairness. But generally speaking, that's not really his shtick. But the main problem is that Reinders is not going to be doing the defensive loads and work of Shirky. Oi, who is copying me? Sorry, vid of my timeline, the thumbnail was exactly like your thumbnails. Name and shame. Who are they? I'll sue them right now on stream. I'll copyright strike their channel into oblivion. Who are they? How many are there? Which one of you was it? It was you, wasn't it, Stanite? You little bastard. Who was it? I'll get it up right now. I'll get it up right now. You little swine. Name them. Name them. Anyway, whilst you guys are naming and shaming, I'll sue them on stream. Whilst you guys are naming and shaming, what was I saying? The reason why you need Bernardo in the sides, and Bernardo's been getting a lot of hate recently, so this is going to be a, if you don't like Bernardo, mute for like the next 30 or 45 seconds. Bernardo does an essential task in a number of ways to accommodate and facilitate and get the best out of Shirky. The first instance is just positional, i.e. he starts in the midfield, he goes out to right wing, that switch just simply allows Shirky to access the centre. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing to say is it's a pressing role, and it is also just a general off-ball role. This is not the same as saying that Shirky is a bad presser or a lazy presser, blah, 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 blah. But if you watch Bernardo and you watch the work that he does for City, it is essentially to help accommodate the deficit in our press, if Shirky were left on there on his own. So that's something to note. That, in my opinion, unless I see something different, I do not feel comfortable playing Shirky without Bernardo. I think we've seen it once in the league, and it was against Spurs, and it was dog shit. Respectfully, it was dog shit. So, until I see it work without him, like even on a semi-consistent basis, I'm not willing to. And I need to see just more generally. I'm not willing to say that ditch Bernardo, blah 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 blah. I do think they come as a package deal. I've not got a name, by the way, for that bloody channel who I need to sue. By the way, chat. So come on, get it up here. Name them. Don't cock tease me. Don't cock tease me, yeah? Oh, it's James Lawrence Alcott. Oh, he's not a copier. He's my boy, to be fair. That's not a copier. That's my boy. If anything, I probably copied him. Nah, James is not. That's fine. James is a real one. I thought it was going to be like because someone from Uzbekistan literally just downloaded my video, my Kasanov analysis video, re-uploaded it, and put an Uzbekistan dialogue over it. Even though it auto-translates on YouTube nowadays. So I thought that's because that was literally just a straight up copy and paste. So I thought that was gonna be that. That got like 5,000 views as well from the bloody copy video. I need those views, yeah? Pissing me off. I think that video was at 90,000. That would have got it close to 100k. Anyway, what was I saying? I get distracted so easily, don't I? So that's what I was going to say. If you have Semenyo in the side, I don't know if you need Bernardo in the sides. Because, and this will come to the outer possession work, one of the amazing things about the Semenyo, and one of the reasons why I'm largely positive about the signing, even though I'm still not uber excited about it, but if I am going to be excited about anything, it is going to be this, It's that Semenyo can almost like do the off-ball work of two players at once. That is how solid he is in that sense. So I don't think that you actually need to have Bernardo being that guy in the midfield here, because you certainly don't need him to rotate with him in the same way, because Semenyo is comfortable hanging out wide on his own, and he's also comfortable doing that defensive work, and he's fantastic at it, and he's very intelligent in that sense. So you could get away with having a more offensive midfield in that sense. So you could probably then more readily have a Reinders. Therefore, let's say, as an example, you could more readily do that. So that's something worth noting. That you could, and that's not something I actually really discussed in my video, but that is definitely something that you could do, 100%. So it gives City more options, is what I'm trying to say there. It means now that you don't have to play X player every single time. We've got another option here. That's if we play a 3-1-6, which is, I think, has been the second most common shape that we've used this season. If you want to do the other shape that we've done this season, which is, in my opinion, the best shape that we've used this season, because I don't know if I've mentioned it, guys. I don't like the 3-1-6. I don't like it. Why don't I like it? Because you have a 3-1 rest defense. I only like it in very specific circumstances, and that is when you know you're up against a back five, because then you have to play a front six, because you have to outnumber their back five. That's not a problem. But generally speaking, I don't like having to play with a front six, because it means I only have 4 players in my rest defense. I would rather have 5 players, if possible. I would rather have a 3-2, but that's not really what we've been playing this season. We have, however, been playing another shape with a 5-man rest defense. Let me just put in just for a second, just the players that we have been using this season. We've had double, and this has been the shape that I wanted us to use before a ball was kicked this season, and in my opinion, it's been the best one. And that is the 3-1. Sorry, that's the 2-3-5. Where we've had double overlapping fullbacks. In my opinion, we've played our best football when the players have been stationed in these positions. This has been my favourite one, by a fair margin. You got Foden dropping deeper to help out with the build-up in the left channel, which is my preferred area. You got Doku getting central access from O'Reilly overlapping, but you also have O'Reilly being able to access the centre and Doku playing out wide, so there's lots of natural rotation there. Rodri, to be fair, I don't think we've seen Rodri here, but it has been Nico, but this gets better massively if Rodri's in there instead of Nico, obviously. You got Bernardo dropping deep to help bait the press and help tie things together as well. And obviously you got Shirky and Doku close to goal, and then you got width naturally from Nunes and O'Reilly. Hello, Toby. How you doing, mate? Big up to you, by the way, Toby. I saw you join the membership offline. Big up to you, mate. You should have done it on stream, so you got a random footballer, but thank you, mate, for supporting the Patreon and the YouTube membership. You're such a beautiful human being. So this has been my preferred setup and shape, personally. I think we played our best football like this. I still don't like it, but I like it from what is City's squad. I like it from what is City's squad. And right now, our squad is quite narrow. So this makes the most out of our narrow players while still having and accessing natural width. And I don't think it's a coincidence that our best performances have come by playing this shape. The good news is that Semenyo can also very easily fit into this situation as well, because he just takes the place of one of Doku or Shirky. It's not a problem. It's literally either or. He could do the job of Doku with O'Reilly and rotate with O'Reilly on the left, but still starting in the centre. Or he can do the role of Shirky where he starts on the right and then he just outright stays into the centre. There's both of those can work. So that's what I would like to see, generally speaking. The best shape we've seen this season, I'm not going to hear any different. This has easily been our best shape, and the best performances have come from this shape. Just swap out, if you want to get Semenyo into the side, you just swap Semenyo with one of Doku or Shirky. Not a problem at all for me. That's how I would like to see Semenyo utilised. I think those are the two easiest ways to utilise him. In the 3-1-6, you have him out at proper right wing or left wing, and then you've got with the 2-3-5, you got Semenyo coming in for one of Shirky or Doku, one of those two attacking players. For me, that provides you with a relatively solid. Foden should bench. Okay, put Reinders instead then. I don't care. It provides you a solid midfield base. You've also got goals from midfield. You've got press resistance in that midfield. You've got defensive solidity in that midfield as well. You've got fantastic off-ball work as well. And in the attack, you've got fantastic 1v1 options, fantastic creative options being connected with that midfield. So that's all a lovely time. So I would like to see this. Yes, this is the shape we played against Liverpool Lucky Tries. This is the shape where, basically, if you look at what were our best performances this season, and you'll see that it's this one. You'll see it's this one. Again, we can just do a 3-1 if you so desire, but that's a thing. That's a thing. The off-ball shape creates more... this off-ball shape creates more defensive... Oh, this isn't off-ball. This is on-ball. I can show you the on-ball, though. I can show you the on-ball. So, again, just like going... So if you want Reinders instead of Foden, then yeah, you can do that. It's not a problem. Again, I'm just going to pop him there because this has been our best teams this season. So, how does it work on ball? It's our diamond press. This is what we've been doing for the majority of this season so far. There we go. Foden goes from midfield to left striker. Bernardo goes from midfield to attacker midfield. The wingers tuck insides. Now, this is another fantastic setup for Semenyo. I touched on this in the Chelsea analysis video, but I appreciate that no one wanted to watch that video because who wants to watch an analysis video of, like, here's why we bottled it in the 93rd minute? No one wants to watch that shit, yeah? No one liked that. I get it. Hence less views, so I appreciate a lot of you may not have seen it. But one of the things I picked up on from that game was essentially Chelsea exploiting the weakness that this structure naturally possesses. This isn't anything new, and I actually did address this in the Liverpool analysis video when we first saw it, because what we saw was you had, just pretend this is Liverpool, you had Liverpool being forced to build down their right side. Why? Because we had we had Haaland picking up both a combination of the goalkeeper and curving his runs to deny access to Van Dijk over here. That was the key. We didn't want Van Dijk to have the ball. We wanted Liverpool to build down their right-hand side because Konate exists. And Konate is Konate. So we didn't mind Konate having the ball. If anything, we wanted him to have the ball. So if Alisson had possession, Van Dijk makes himself available. Haaland curves his run to deny the access there. Alisson is also right-footed, not left-footed. So he naturally wants to go down to the right as well. What then happened was Alisson's forced to play it into Konate. Foden, then, a key role in the press, pounces onto Konate to force a punt. City win the ball back. City win the ball back. We end up winning the game quite comfortably. It all came down to the pressing structure. It came down to Haaland's bending of his runs. It came down to Foden being fantastic out of possession as well and jumping onto Konate. So that was how that happened. The weakness in the system is this, because what City then did was we moved our block basically to the left. So we forced them to their right, and then we had a load of bodies on the right. So it meant that when they punt it, we win the second ball, and that kept happening. The problem that introduced potentially was that there was always a free man around here. There-ish. In that area. Now, the good news for that, and it's a good point, Muster, yeah, if Trent was here, we wouldn't play like that, because we were fine with Konate and Bradley having the ball. Because you're right. If Trent is receiving the ball here, even under pressure, then he is probably picking this ping out. This man on our right central midfield area was the -1. Yes? City had 4 to 5 players at the back. We're seeing a lot of teams do that this season. Indeed, we've just seen it generally. The reason why you do that is because you want to have a numerical superiority at the back. So if the team have 4 attacking players, ideally you want 5 in an ideal world, because you don't want to get overrun at the back. So that means if there is a numerical superiority at the back, then that means there has to be a numerical inferiority somewhere else. By virtue of maths, unless you sneak another player on the pitch and you're playing with 12, and hey, that's a new strat, maybe we could do that, you're going to have a -1 somewhere if you're having a +1 at the back. This was where our -1 was. Okay. So it meant that Shirky was basically given a very challenging role. Now, thankfully, Kanate is shit. And Bradley wasn't especially good either. So it meant that they weren't able to exploit that. Now, why is Nobbins chunnering on to me about this situation? Well, the problem, and I discussed this in the Chelsea video, was that Chelsea did exploit that -1. So, let's get everyone back into the diamond structure. Just for a second. Chelsea... And I actually wonder how much that Fofana injury actually helped Chelsea that game, because it meant that Badiashile played, and that meant that Chelsea did not care about building up down their left, which was a shame. So once again, we tried to force Chelsea to play down their right. That's what we tried to do initially. But Jorgensen had a decent game on ball, and the space was always here when they dropped a few bodies back. Now, City were pressing with a front 3, and we were defending with basically a back 5, so Rodri quite deep. So what do you notice about this? It's quite light in the second line of pressure. The first line of pressure is all well and good. You got Hall and Bernardo Foden pressing as that front 3. What you need here is massive energy, massive running, massive commitment for it to work. And they were doing their job in fairness. But the weakness is that if you are up against a side who are fine either playing over that first line of pressure or are fine just dropping a few bodies back in order to exploit that, and Santos, and Musi just said it there, Santos did that, and that's why Chelsea looked so much better in the second half. They were able to exploit us in that area. And specifically, they were able to exploit Shirky. This is not a dig at Shirky, but he was given a very challenging task. He was essentially being asked to pick up 2 players at once, because that was where the -1 was. Now, in order for this to succeed, you either need to hope that your opponent isn't good at playing out from the back, and isn't good at exploiting gaps, or you have to hope that whoever this player is in the position of Shirky is a demon off ball, and is like defensively superb. I'm not even talking about like being competent or semi-competent. I'm talking about being very, very good. So I'll repeat, this is not a dig, but Shirky is not that, and therefore he wasn't able to do that. This is where Semenyo comes in. Because if you have Semenyo doing that role in these harder games where it's far more physical specific, then Semenyo doing this role can be that guy to basically occupy 2 players on his own. It doesn't matter if he's dealing with this numerical inferiority in that second line of pressure. So that's not something that I really discussed in the analysis video that much, just because I felt it would have taken too long. I mean, like, look how long I've spoken about it right now. But do you see what I mean? that now if you have a Semenyo in there doing that role, now all of a sudden, yes, you still have the -1, and it is still a structural weakness, but you're in a better position against better sides. Against teams like Chelsea, against teams like Brighton, whoever, who will be able to exploit that. So that's a positive for City. It just makes us way more stable off the ball if he does play in our diamond as well. So that's a very good thing to note. That's lovely, lovely. So, and in my opinion, this is the most important element of the signing. It's not actually what he's going to offer to us with the ball, and that will help. Goals will help, of course they will. Goals win games. But I do actually think that the most important aspect of the Semenyo signing is going to be this. It's going to be the off-ball situation. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So there we go. Nintendo says, Bernardo should not play high. I'd love to assist the defense like he did against Chelsea last season. You sort of... The problem is that in this forward pressing 3, in order for it to work, you need at least 2 of them to be unbelievably good out of possession. I would say at least 2. You can get away with one of your strikers being not that guy, because all they have to do really is block off a passing lane. So you don't need all 3 of them to be that, but you need at least 2, I would say, because you need one of the strikers to be able to run and jump onto the defender and know when to do it and be intelligent in that sense, and the attacking midfielder has to support the 2 strikers in that sense also. So I would suggest that in order for this to, like, and I still umming and ahhing about whether I believe that this is whether this is something we should be persisting with. I don't know if it's a personnel issue or a structural issue. You need someone like Bernardo in that area, in my opinion, in order to make it work properly. Next season, I would like that to be Anderson. If we were to sign him, he would be fantastic in that role as well. That could be a thing. That could potentially be a thing. But you certainly need at least 2. At least. Again, preferably you'd have 3, because Haaland isn't necessarily that guy. But he's almost just being a dummy and just blocking off a passing lane, which is pretty chill. I am a fraud, KJ, absolutely. So that's if we might not persist with the Diamonds press, but I'm just going off like what we have been doing since the Liverpool game. That's how we have been. Whichever came first, Liverpool or Bournemouth. Can't remember. Whichever one came first was the first time we saw it. And so your attacking so in this shape, your attacking midfielder and one of your strikers has to be a pressing demon, in my opinion. And has to be an off-ball demon, in my opinion, for it to work to its fullest effect. Certainly against the best sides anyway. Was it Bournemouth? Thank you. Certainly against the best sides anyway, who want to try to build out from the back. So big up to Semenyo, because he can easily be that guy in the trickiest games. Absolutely he can. So big up to him. That's... If there's one thing that I am very excited and interested about this signing, the off-ball contribution is probably number 1. Hopefully that wasn't too boring, because I appreciate there was a lot of green there. But hopefully that was relatively interesting. The other thing to say is Donnarumma benefits massively from this signing. This is a perfect signing from the POV of the Donnarumma signing. These two go in hand like strawberries and cream, yeah? Like Nobbins and video likes, yeah? Like, what else? What else are good combos, guys? Come on, help me out. Kentucky and chicken. Fried and chicken. That's a great combo. Lego and Star Wars. What else do they go? What else are good pairings? I don't like wine and cheese, so I wouldn't go for that personally. Strawberries cheesecake, good shout. Okay, Toby, chill, mate. Musty, what the fuck? SpongeBob and Patrick. There we go. Yes, like Shirkin Foden, like Holland and KDB, PB and J. I've never had peanut butter and jelly. Never had that. Never had that. There we go. They go very well together. Is what I'm trying to say. For two very good reasons. Fenway, what the fuck, man? I'm sorry that there hasn't been a Twitch stream this week. Tuesday, I had to work on the Semenyo video, and Thursday, I was ill. So we will resume them next week, I promise. We will resume them next week. Sunji Iron, Shawnee, right, big up Fireborn. So, yeah, I've never had PB&J. They go really well together, and there's two key reasons for that. The first one is literally just going direct over the press. Because how many times have we seen it now where a team comes on to us, we go long, and we just lose it. And that's the end of that chapter. Or we've got to like scramble for a second ball and that sort of thing. Semenyo is an outlet in his own right, so he can win the ball in the air, / make a nuisance for himself. Or if it's still targeting Haaland, which is probably still going to be the play to make, if Haaland doesn't win it, and he doesn't tend to win it because he's always double-teamed, whatever, this now means that Haaland will have more space and time on the ball. It also means that if Haaland competes for it and a second ball battle now takes place, now occurs, you've got Semenyo there, who won more second balls than... There was like a graph I put in the video. He's won more second balls than any City player last season. So he's a second ball demon. So going over the press, big. Going through the press is also big. Sorry, my cats. I just heard a scratching up shit. I don't know what was going on. Yeah, the other one's going through the press. Because how many times have we seen Doku receive the ball in an area where he should not be receiving the ball, and from a pass that he should not be receiving? Like, it's not an optimal pass, and it's not an optimal area of the pitch that Doku should be receiving it in, but he's still able to make it work because he is fantastic physically, and his close control is nice, and he's a fantastic outlet. We've got that when Doku plays, but if Doku isn't playing, we don't really have it anywhere else, because it's not Savio's fault, but he just isn't that type of player. I've seen Savio try to receive it from a similar area, but he's not an outlet in the same way that Doku is an outlet. So, she's called Evie. So, Semenyo being there as well also helps. So if Doku's not available, well, Semenyo can come in for him instead. Or if you're having them both on the pitch, then you've got one on the left and one on the right. So he's very beneficial for going over the press and through the press. So that's very, very good. And again, that's more of a him not even being on the ball situation where he's really, really beneficial and useful. So that's a fantastic... It's a fantastic signing for the team that City have been this season. That's what I want to say. Now, whether that's the direction that City should be going in, I think that's another conversation to be had. But if it is the direction that City are going in, then there is no doubt that this is a signing which makes way too much sense. Because what have been the key struggles for City this season? It has been out of possession frailties, and it has been ineffective build-up. Well, Semenyo is the player to help resolve both of those, rather mitigate both of those problems. EVIE is how you spell it. So I would say it's a borderline perfect signing given the issues that we have had this season, given the traits he receives. Even though I'm not as big on Semenyo as a in terms of like just general quality as others are, I still wouldn't have him in my best starting 11. But if you think about what is City being this season, what are we maybe trying to be this season, what do we want to become, and what have been the problems as a consequence of that. Well, Semenyo ticks all those boxes. So this is going to be quite an important signing if we continue to play like this. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So that's good. So I think this is a signing that we should all probably be positive about. Really, and he's homegrown, and there was a release clause to be negotiated, and he scores goals. That also helped, but the goal scoring isn't the biggest thing that I'm interested in, to be honest with you. The biggest thing I'm interested in is the off-ball work. So, yeah. Evie can't have kittens. She got spayed when she was very young. Spay and neuter your cats, guys. Spay and neuter your cats. Keep them safe. Keep them safe. Yeah, she is a forever kitten. She will never have babies. She is a forever kitten. And she's an inside cat anyway. She's too stupid to go outdoors. So yeah, that's Semenyo. Before I move on to an Exeter preview, / maybe you guys want me to expand a bit more and like what do I mean by the style of play and the conflicting styles. Do we have any final thoughts on Semenyo? Do we have any final thoughts on Semenyo? Got over 200 people watching, which is very lovely. Please make sure to leave a like on the video. I want 115. I want 115. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the Chelsea fan and the Chelsea tactical video that we did before the Chelsea game. I want to do that for every single Big Six game. I've already got a Spurs fan lined up. It's called Kish. Amazing tactical content creator. It's a big up to him for agreeing to come on. I'm trying to get a United fan on, who is like excellent tactically as well. Don't know if I'm going to be able to find one because the one I'm after is quite busy, so I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but we'll see. We'll see. I said a great tactical mind, true citizen, not Liam Byrne. Semenyo Grealish treatment. Wait, what? What does that mean, man? What does it mean when people say the Grealish treatment? Again, everyone knows. Well, maybe you don't know, but Grealish was my favourite player. I really liked Grealish. I saw a lot of value in what he offered us. Now, he wasn't a perfect player, and even in the treble year, I was like, I would like him to be a bit more direct. I'd like him to be a bit more aggressive. I'd like him to sort out his shooting a bit. But there's no doubt that he was fantastic in the treble year, and I thought he was super important to that side. But at the end of the day, it's his fault, and it's his fault alone. And he's admitted this, by the way. He's not hidden from this. He's come out in an interview, and he has said, I didn't take myself seriously enough off the pitch, and it's my own fault. He's accepted it himself. There's no one else to blame. He didn't take his football seriously enough. Look, he clearly likes living life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to play for Manchester City, then yeah, you are going to have to make a lot of sacrifices off the pitch, and you can't be out partying, and you can't be out drinking and socialising and doing all these things. You have to lock in and commit and try to improve. And he didn't. And that's his own fault. And it's nothing to do with Pep, and it's nothing to do with City. Unfortunately, it's everything to do with him. And as Grealish's biggest defender, and I stopped defending him after his last season because I just can't. There's nothing anymore. There's just nothing anymore. It's his own fault. Every other winger. Why do people say Grealish? Why don't people go for all the amazingly creative or direct or beautiful wingers that Pep has used, in his managerial career? Why does no one talk about Pedro? Why does no one talk about Messi? Why do they talk about Robin or Ribéry? Why don't they talk about Sane, Sterling, Doku, Savio? Are these players not allowed to, quote, express themselves? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? So I like Grealish, but it's his own fault, and he has seemingly single-handedly tarnished the reputation of Guardiola and his treatment of wide players. So, yeah, people are stupid for saying that, aren't they? Can we do a 4-4-2 out of possession now we have Semenyo? I mean, we could have done a 4-4-2 out of possession before, Ken Boy, to be honest with you. Semenyo coming in, I don't think changes anything in that sense, because we could have done that before. Connor Holden, yeah. Don't worry, guys. I'm only going to be bringing on guests who I respect tactically. So they're going to be people who are much more intelligent than I and much better at tactical analysis than I that come on the channel when I bring them on. I'm not going to be bringing on I don't know, Rashford roll 85, whatever. I'm not going to be bringing on people who don't know what they're talking about. This isn't going to be like, I don't know, a type of show where you just shout at one another for 90 minutes or whatever. It's going to be reasoned discussion and insight. Yeah, exactly. I'm not bringing like United Trail or that ilk of creator. It's going to be actual people who know what they're talking about. Sterling gets more hate than Grealish for being the better player. Yeah, well, big up to Raheem the Dream. Loved him. Love him. Yeah, well, again, Empering, they're just idiots, aren't they? No, well, I can't. At the time, he was my favourite, but the way he ended it and everything afterwards, like he was my. I think initially he was my favourite because I've got a thing about defending people who I feel don't deserve all the attacks that they were getting, and I didn't like the way that people were talking about Grealish in his first year. I didn't like that. So maybe that's what I... Also, he just seemed like a really lovely person. Now, I've since heard things, but at the time, I thought that he was like a very lovely person, certainly in like the public spotlight, you know, doing all works for charity and blah, 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 blah. He seemed like a very beautiful person. And then the treble year happened, and I thought it was so important to our treble year. Even the end of the Formidables year, there were a couple of games where he came on. I thought he was really good, like against Aston Villa and Palace. I thought that he was fantastic in those games. But... not anymore. No, I mean, Shawnee Wright's there, but Sterling's over him as well. Yeah, I'm all right now. 6 though. Thank you very much. Bring me on, says Musty. Shut up. Do you think having Marmoush and Semenyo in attack massively improves the forward pressing, bringing Anson alongside Roggery, fix out of possession issues? There's no doubt it improves it. Definitely. I don't know if we'll see much of Marmoush and Semenyo in the side at the same time. I'm not sure if we will. I guess it could happen. It could. I'd just be a bit surprised if it did. But it could. You know what I mean? These rubbish names on Twitter. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I need a chill stream with Evie. I had her on like a stream or so ago. I showed her off. Raheem the Cream. Big up to Kolarov. Well, he's not a winger, is he? He could have been, though. Only worry about Semenyo's how poor he's been for Ghana. Hopefully that improves after learning under Pep. Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem, to be fair. He'll be in a better side. It's all good for him. I don't watch Ghana, but I'm assuming that he sort of has to try to be the guy. I don't know. I don't know that I don't watch Ghana. I'd be lying to you if I said I watched Ghana. He messaged me like last year or a year and a half ago saying like, would you like to collaborate together? I was like, hell yeah, let's do that. Nothing ever came of it. I think he's just very busy, unfortunately. Now he's working for the BBC, so I don't know if he'd have the time to do it, to be honest. I don't know if I don't know if he would have the time. I can ask him. Because, you know, we are like that. We're not. We're in DMs, though. Again, I doubt that James has got the time for me, I'll be honest. He's a big boy, man. Love James. Big up to him. If those three change the mid, what degree do you think it helps the issues out of 100? I think, like, for me, the Anderson one would be the most important. Because I think that on its own would like resolve so many problems. Like basically, like next season, the way I'm looking at it is take out Bernardo, put in Anderson. I know it's not like for like exactly, but I mentioned on, like, you know, being the player to be like the attacking midfielder in the forward press. You need someone who's going to be on it, and that is what Anderson can be, whilst also providing more on ball and also just general off ball also. So Anderson for Bernardo, that's big already. And then you can run like a midfield three of Rodri, Anderson, Foden. That's an amazing midfield three with your 6 and then 2 8s. I think that's if we persist with a 4-3-3, maybe we'll change it, but that would be my dream ideal midfield three. And then your attacking players, you got Doku, Semenyo, Shirky, Marmoush, Savio, hopefully when he comes back, Haaland, of course. That to me is a squad which is much closer to winning the title. I'm not giving up on the title this season, by the way. I was really deflated yesterday and the day before, and having a bit of a crisis as to like what is City, what is our style of play, what are we doing? But I still think we can win the title. We're not the favourites, but I do think that if we of course Semenyo's here now, and if we bring in Anderson next season, I do think that we win the title. I will say that. I do think that would tip us to being the favourites, in all honesty. Outside of any, like, you know, ridiculous injuries, you know, if like Haaland, you know, loses his right arm, you're going to have a bad time. But certainly in terms of squad, I think then we would have certainly a starting 11 that I would be very comfortable saying, yeah, I think that wins the title. And I don't think it would be close either, to be fair. Yeah. Don't know what's happening with Gahey. Out of 100, I'll go 75. I'll go 75. What does Anderson next have to do with this season's title? I don't know. Elaine, I thought he had a really good game. Really promising. And speaking of Elaine, shall we do an Exeter City preview? Because there's not going to be a video on it. So shall we discuss that? Who would we like to see start against Exeter? I can get my tactical board up. Before we move on to that, though, any final questions on Semenyo or whatever, or Gahey or Anderson or whatever? We will. Don't worry. We will do the Exeter. We will do an Exeter preview before we end today's show. Don't you worry. You said if we bring in Anderson next year, we'd have a chance to win the title. Yeah, that is what I said. Exeter for the exit. Bruh. How's that related? I maybe you weren't paying attention. I'd recommend rewinding. Will Semenyo be on the bench for Exeter? Hopefully he's in the starting 11. Yeah? Would that include Rico in a swap? When was the last time like swap deals happened, though? I feel like swap deals never really are a thing. The only one I can really think of that happened between, like, certainly that involved a big club was when United and Arsenal swapped Mkhitaryan and Sanchez. Was that a straight swap, or was there money involved? Because I was going to say Cancelo, but the Cancelo one actually wasn't a swap. It was technically two different deals, because I thought it was... what's he called? Who is he called? Danilo. I thought it was Danilo plus 30 million, but it wasn't. It was Cancelo. Cancelo was bought straight up for 60, 70 million quid. And then as a totally separate deal, we sold, what's it called? Danilo. Sorry, it's not a swap, but they get Rico. I think I'd like to keep Rico. I think that he's a very good depth player. And I think he should have come on against Chelsea. I think he should have come on against Brighton. But I think he's a very good depth player to have. I don't think he needs to include him. I think that they would accept like a bid of around 70-ish million pounds, let's say. I reckon they'll accept something like that. And I think we will have to do something like that to get him out of Forest. So I wouldn't want to sell Lewis because I know he's not a right back, but he can fill in at right back and he can fill in at left back and he can, and he is good as a more advanced 8/10. He can fill in a lot of places, and you do need depth. You do need squad players. And if he's happy to be a squad player, then that's what I want. That's what I want to see, yeah? That's what I want to see happen. Is Livramento still paramount? I don't think we'll go for him because of the injury situation. But I still think we need a right back. Right, shall we do cheeky little Exeter? Okay. So, let us... So we can't have Stones, Kova, Aitnori, Bob, Marmouche, or Savio. However, I haven't got all the academy players here, so maybe we'll have to do like some placeholders. But we've got some options. So where are Exeter in the league, and what fucking league are they in? Is it League One? They're 14th in League One. So they are respectfully, this is objectively the worst team that we have faced this season. Because Huddersfield, who we played, are 4th in League One. So these guys are worse than Huddersfield, based on the league table. And it's at the Etihad. So this is going to be an on-paper weak team. If I see Phil Foden on the bench, I'm going to be pissed off. If I see Haaland on the bench, I'm going to be pissed off because they should not even be on the bench. They should be given the night off. They should be told, right, it's basically a week off until the next relatively important game. Go play Nintendo Entertainment System or whatever. Go and watch Hercules on Disney Plus. Go and chill out and enjoy your evening. Get away from the football. If I see either of these two in the matchday squad, I'm going to be fucked. I'm going to be pissed off. Yeah? So if they start, I'll be floored. If they're even on the bench, I'll be annoyed. Because what's the fucking point? This man Foden has not had a rest since Leverkusen, and he came on at half-time. So that wasn't even a proper rest, was it? When was the last time he had a proper rest? I'm going to look it up. Someone tell me in the chat. Someone race me. When was the last time? When was the last time? He didn't start against Leverkusen, but he came on. He started against Newcastle the game before that. Started against Liverpool. Started against Dortmund. Started against Bournemouth. Okay, Swansea. That was the last time. Even then, he came on in the fucking 60th minute. That was the last time he had a proper rest. In October! In October! It's 2026! Hello? So if I see him in the squad, I'm going to be upset. Yeah? I get it, Pep. You like him. I like him as well. He's very important to us. He's one of our best players. But fuck me. Anyway, that was a little rant that I'm getting really upset and annoyed with Pep's squad utilisation this season. It's pissing me off a little bit. Right. Get them out of the fucking squad. I want Haaland fully rested. I want Foden fully rested. Yes? That's what I want to see. Obviously, Trafford's going to play because it's a cup game. So that's going to be a thing. Here we go, the defence. Now, Gvardiol isn't available because he's injured. And Diaz isn't available because he's injured. I think we can have another cheeky Kusanov game. Let me just pop these players over here just for a second, just as we're building the team. I want to see another cheeky Kusanov game because he's not played that much football this season. So I think it's fine for Kusanov to have a start. Elaine, I want Elaine in the side. Definitely. Oh, Mifune. Do you guys want Mifune to start? Would he do that, though? Is he going to go that intense in the rotation? Do you reckon? Why not? Fuck it. Right. Mifune left back. You just have to pretend that that's Mifune, yeah? Okay. Right back. Well, there's no doubt I want Lewis in the team somewhere. I don't know where, but I want him in the team. Who else do I want to start? I want Mukasa to start. I think Reinders... We can't have the whole academy play because that's a bit insane. So I think Reinders should probably be starting. Probably Nico should be starting. Do you reckon? Or do you think we should start Rodri to give him like an easy game to get sharpness? What do you reckon? I sort of want to rest Rodri, but I don't know what the situation is. Like, would it be beneficial for him to get minutes in his legs? I don't actually know. I reckon Rodri. Rest Rodri and Nico. But you need someone there, though. You need someone there, though, surely. Start Rodri. You back a Rodri start. He might need the sharpness. He might need the sharpness, mightn't he? So let's do a cheeky little Rodri start. Right, that's my midfield sorted then. So the midfield is relatively senior. That situation. I'd like Lewis to start not at right back if possible. I guess it doesn't matter though. I guess you could play Lewis there and then you give Nunes a rest because he has played a lot of football as well. Question mark? You want Rico in the 8. So that means Nunes is going to play. Where's Nunes? There he is. So you got that. Yeah, so Rico in the midfield. Okay, gotcha. Give Nunes a rest. Says KJ. Rest Cafunes. No Nunes. Who are you playing at right back then? You guys are all saying Nunes rest. We can do that. You want Rico to play right back. Who are you playing in midfield then? Fireborn wants Rico in midfield. I want Nunes rest, but don't want Rico right back to start. It's the duality of man. It's the duality of man. Foden Spartacus, shut up, mate. Oh gosh. Right, okay. We'll throw Lewis at right back then. So we got Rodri, Mukasa, just out and out number 8. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? But Dom, in fairness, we're up against 14th in League One. If we can't win against 14th in League One with Lewis at right back, Kusanov right back? Oh, could it be? And then you got Elaine, Mifune, and then Ake. Could that be a thing? Hello? What do you guys reckon? Could we do that? And now we've got Mukasa as the false 9. And you're chilling. What you saying? Herber wants Gray. Sorry, is that what you said, True Citizen? Looks more stable and solid. Can't risk Sasuke breaking down against Exeter. It's a good point. It is a good point. I've no idea, Nico, if he's ever played left back. You guys were just saying play him left back. Right. Yeah, the worry is that what if Ake gets injured, but like, I don't know, at some point you just got to do that. I know Semenyo's played a lot of football, but this guy's a machine, in fairness. He is a machine. I'm selfish. I do want him to start because I want to be entertained. Bernardo does not start. He better not start. I want O'Reilly to be given a rest. Doku's only just coming back from injury. Could this be a game where it's beneficial to get some minutes into his legs? Because he came on against Sunderland. He came on against Sunderland. And did he start against Chelsea? He didn't start against Chelsea. He only played 20 minutes against Chelsea. And he started again. So he's only had one start. So maybe Doku should be getting some sharpness in his in his little cute legs. Yeah? He can play left back. Thank you, Herbal. So that could be a nice thing. This is a nice chill game because he's only just coming back from injury. So a nice, same vibes with Rodri. A nice game to ease him into it. Semenyo better not do a Nico versus Orient. Yeah, exactly. And so now on the right, do we want to give Shirky a rest, or do we want to give Semenyo a rest? Or you want to rest both? You want to play Heskey? Is Heskey a wide player? Is he a winger again? Put Haaland at striker, get some fodder goals. Chill. He does not need fodder goals. Chill. Do you think he'll do that, though? You think, Herbal, if we need Shirky against 14th in League One at home, then we deserve to be liquidated, I'll be honest. Heskey is left wing, but Doku needs match fitness. Makeda is the right winger. Okay, gotcha. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if we started that many players from the academy. And I know I've just downplayed the challenge, in fairness, but we already started Mukasa. We're starting Mifuni. Elaine, who's a young player as well. I mean, he has to play. Is that one academy player too much? Can we not start Semenyo, says Musty? I want to start him, though. I'll be real. Get the academy manager on Pep so he can have a rest as well. Well, I'd like to give Shirky a rest because he clearly benefited from the rest that he got not starting against Brighton, because against Chelsea he was like, that's the worst City performance I've seen all season, so he clearly needed a bit of a rest. Ideally, I wouldn't be starting him. Cole says he'll play. Love that from you. Semenyo is a sub. Okay, fuck it. Makeda it is. Bop, you guys are saying he's a right winger. Yeah, but Musty, Semenyo's got more stamina than Shirky. Like, Shirky's not that level physically. So my boy Semenyo can do it, yeah. But no, I won't predict Semenyo to start. Rest Linders. Here we go, guys. Here's the team. We've got Trafford. We've got a lot of the academies popping off. We've got Trafford, Elaine, Mifuni, Lewis, Makeda, and Mukasa. We've got 6 out of 11 are from the academy. So it's Man City Academy versus Exeter City. There we go. Bop. I think this is a good team. It's got a good mix of experience and opportunity. I think it's quite good. I think it's still strong as well. Like, it's still good enough to beat them. I think that's pretty chill. Communication between the back four would be funny. Who's right wing? You guys said Makeda's a right winger, so we're going to have that. Bob is injured, unfortunately. It's a shame, like, if we had Bob, if we had Aitnori, if we had Marmouche, if we had Savio, then this would have been a great game for them. Alas. It's a thing. So, that's the situation. It seems a bit unfair rocking up at the Etihad with a midfield that has Rodri in it, but this is what we're going for. So, there we go. Exactly, Herbal. I know it's frustrating, isn't it? But it's the reality. Mifuni and Elaine played together for the EDS last season. Amazing. But Rodri striker, shut up. Nah, Bob's been confirmed as being injured, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't have to be that team, but I think something like this could be quite fun. And we need to win the game as well. Like, I'm sure basically we can put out nearly any single team and still get the win. No offense, Exeter. Well, a little offense. Nah, actually, fuck Exeter. You shit. Yeah? Yeah? Agenda. I got an agenda against Exeter now for no reason. That was harsh. Fuck you. If you're from Exeter, fuck you, yeah? Where even is Exeter? That's southern, yes? Where, though? Thanks for that, Ariman. Love that from you. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? What county are they in? Yeah? Exeter. That's one letter away from Sexeter. And that sounds suspect to me. So, let's go Exeter Uni. Yeah. I thought it was Southern. Yeah. Is it Devon? Rest of fans? Let's double check. Where is Exeter? Where is Exeter? In my head, they are Southern. I've never been to Exeter, in case you guys couldn't tell. It's a cathedral city. A county town of Devon in southwest England. Oh, they're Wurzels! It's Wurzel country! Oh my god, guys. That's crazy. We're going to war with a bunch of Wurzels. Come on now. Ooh. Big up Wurzel Gummidge. Right. Big up Stephen Merchant. He's not from there, he's from Bristol, but that's still Wurzel country. Yeah. Respectfully, Wurzel country is one of my favourite accents. It is a silly accent, but I think it's beautiful. I really like it. I really like the Wurzel accent, so big up. Big up to them. Oh, dear. I assume they... Yeah, away fans often come on a bus. Yeah. The club will put one up. The club will put one on. That sort of thing. Nobbins on the bench. Fuck that. Get me in the starting 11. Get me in the starting 11. Now. Can I do the accent? Burn him. He's playing with our pig. There you go. How about that? I've got a combine harvester. Pretty stereotypical, probably offensive, but there you go. That's a Wurzel accent. Think of Stephen Merchant. He's from Bristol, which is similar, but, you know. How are you, my dear? Like that. It's a fun accent. I like it. Yeah, exactly. Hot fuzz. More in an angle. More in an angle. Yeah. Now we're losing against Exeter. Chill. Chill. We had Mafuni and Makadu GS dem play. I wanted to be greedy, and he's missing the straw exactly. Yeah, and the straw hat exactly. I wanted to be greedy and, like, you know, and have fun and put Semenyo there, but you guys probably rightly said it would be good to play an academy player there, and I think you are right. So there we go. Are we underestimating Exeter? You're damn right we are. And you can clip this, yeah? Don't clip this. Don't clip this. We're coming for you, Exeter. Yeah? LNobbins live chat on tour down to Exeter Uni. We're on patrol. We're on tour. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. Yeah? Yeah, fuck Exeter. Fuck Exeter and fuck their pigs as well. Not like that. Not like that, guys. You know, come on. Let's keep it highbrow, you bastards. You know what I mean? Ah! Right, anyway. Pause. Oh, Emperor Inc. I was going to say something really mean, but I did not say it. Because that would have been offensive to your mother, and I did not want to go that far, because I like you and you're a member of the channel. But I was so tempted to say something then. It's all good fun. It's all good fun. There's no need. Exeter's never done anything wrong to me. I'm just, you know, I'm getting hype for it. I'm getting up. I'm trying to create a rivalry. Yeah, I'm trying to big up this game. You can't watch this game in this country unless you're there. Yeah, legally anyway. I've subscribed to a Turkish satellite service to watch this game tomorrow. Yeah, so you know, yeah, they deserve it, little bastards. It's obvious, for the record, before anyone actually gets upset, because I know people get upset, it's a joke, obviously. I don't have anything wrong with Exeter or whatever. It's a bit of fun. Chill. Exactly, Emperor Inc. And I've paid £2 for a month of football with Tobai Sport or whatever it is. So big up to NordVPN, sponsor of the channel, because that's enabled me to do that. Cool. Any final questions before we wrap up? Because I have been live for 90 minutes. Excuse me. Pep said, excuse me. Pep said Semenyo will be among those in Exeter, but doesn't know if he will start. Depends on his decision. We can't leave him out because of the small squads. I'd like him on the bench. Yeah. Yeah, big up to NordVPN. Now, since we get Semenyo for playing Shirky in the middle, we don't need Nunes as a right back. Every time we have Kasanov as well. Well, you still want to be playing Shirky right wing off ball, unless he makes a massive leap in his off ball work. You still want him playing right wing off ball realistically, unless you're having Semenyo left wing, in which case it's not a problem. I'm travelling to Turkey tomorrow to watch the City game, not for the first time indeed. Big up to Turkey. Big up to Istanbul. That's the only game I've been to the only City game I've been to that wasn't in England. Yes, yeah, you can. There's no cup confliction there. That's fine. That's all good. Not a problem. What isn't Exeter, says Lucky Tries. Fries, wedges or mashed potatoes. Definitely fries. Definitely fries. Thin cut French fries. If I see chunky chips on the menu, like in a main I'm ordering, and there's the option for fries, I'll always swap out for the fries. Preferably truffle parmesan, because they're gorgeous. Gonna find illegal webs, but you can just get a free VPN if you want. I mean, I've got a very good VPN, which is also an ad blocker and has a dark web things. But you can just get a free VPN if you want, and then pay £2 for the Turkey thing, which I don't think is bad. It's probably a more stable stream as well. I sort of touched on it at the start, but I was basically ill over the course of the Brighton period. My VPN is Nord, because they sponsored the channel. Big up to NordVPN, nordvpn.com/LNobbins. And it's not just a VPN, and they're not even paying me to do this, but I do really rate the service. The ad blocker is unbelievable, and it's got fraud protection, and it's got dark web protection, and it's got a passwords keeper as well, so it's not just a VPN. It's not better though, is it? With respect, Proton VPN is used by people in Exeter. Respectfully. All Proton VPN is a VPN. Does it protect you on the dark web? Didn't think so. Does it store your passwords? Didn't think so. Does it block ads successfully? Didn't think so, yeah? You've done me there, Stan. You know what? Fair play, you've done me there. That's a great one. That's very sharp. Well done. That's good. No, that deserves a W. Well done. That's very good. That is very quick. Well done. You got me there, Fairs. Little bastard. I think I'm overtired, you know. Guys, before we go, I need to show you something very important. And no, it's not my cock. You got to pay for that. You'll have seen it on the tweets, on the Twitter. Here's my next Lego project. Yes, it's an Arc 170. Look at how imposing this is. Look at this. It's not done though, because look at the red. Look at the engine, sorry. It should have red around. But what arrived in the post today, the 8 pieces. So live on stream, I'm going to finish off the Arc 170. You guys are going to see. So it looks like that right now. It still looks very imposing and lovely. But look at how much better it's going to get once I put on the engine pieces. Yes, I got this for Christmas, and I have upgraded it with a custom set of instructions. So it's still the main skeleton of the piece, but the original one is a little bit stubby. It's called Bricklink Muster. Yeah, you can buy individual pieces of Lego. That's how you source pieces for like mocks and whatnot. It's the best place to get pieces. It's officially owned by Lego as well, so they get money from it. And now, oh, look at this. Look at this, guys. Oh, it depends on the piece. Because it's like eBay, but for Lego pieces. essentially. Oh God, I've broken a wing in my earnest nature. I've snapped a wing off. Here we go. And I've got a sick stand for it as well. This is from a seller on Etsy, so you can actually display it properly. Look at this. You're about to see the final product in a second. As I put him on the stand. Before I do it, let me just show it to you. Wait. There we go. Oh, look at that. And, so it's like, you know, and now I need to get into flight mode. Bop. Oh, look at that. Look at that with a little thing in the back. Just that. Oh, look at that mechanic. Oh. This is a precursor to the X-Wing. The smart brick can... If you buy a smart brick, you're from Exeter. Look at how sick it looks now with the red. Yeah, the red engines. So that's done it. And now, as it goes on... Ah! A piece fell off. No, it's all going to pot. Oh shit, where's this piece come from? Oh, it's from the back. There we go. I'm ripping up the back. Not for the first time. Crazy. Crazy work there by LNobbins. Live on fucking the youtube.com. Right, here we go. Ah! That really hurt and I broke it. Right, I'm going to do this off stream because I'm literally just breaking it. I'm breaking it in front of you. That really fucking hurts. Ow. Ow. Pain. I don't even know where that came off. That fucking hurt, man. Let me moan. I'll do what I want. Hello? Why does everyone have a go at me whenever I moan? I can do that if I want. Don't be mean. Don't bully me. No, I'm not ending this stream until I show it you guys properly. I'm not ending it. I refuse. You guys can leave if you want. I'll do this to just one person if I need to. It's happening. I found the piece. Right. Okay. I've never been to Southeast Asia, no. Hello? Right. Okay. This is the one. This is the one. If I can position it properly. Okay. There we go. Now it is on. There's that wing... No, okay. It's not working. I've broken it. I've broken it. The wings come off. I'm going to have to fix this off stream. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. Big up to all my beautiful YouTube members. If you'd like to support the channel directly, the best way to do that is to become a member of the channel. You get live perks and you get access to exclusive videos. You get 2 a month. I don't know what they're going to be this month. I haven't released them yet, but I will do them. There will be a watch along tomorrow, so join me for that. Yeah, unbelievably professional stream this is. Christ, man. I'm going to go fix this. I'm such an idiot. Oh, I love Lego so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you later. Catch you tomorrow on the watch along. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.